I look at this, the first thing you see here is they give me cash sales, cash purchases, credit purchases, operating expenses. Right. But now I want you to see these two words. Do you see there's a word actual and budgeted? Okay. Actual, can you see there's a line there? Means it happened. It happened. This isn't a budget. So this is a real figure. Ne? You understand when I say that? This is a real figure. It already happened. Budgeted means I am planning for it. It still hasn't happened. Okay. But when we use figures to calculate, we use all of them the same. Okay. You're not going to treat them different because they're budgeted. Okay. So now, if I look here, can you see they say credit sales are to be collected as follows. 20% in the month of sale, 60% after 30 days, 18% after 60 days, 2% written off after 90 days. Can you see? So we call this a schedule. Okay. Now, very important. I have a way of doing it. I don't know if everybody does it like that, and if I heard it somewhere, and if I thought this out, I don't know. But this is how I work. I say I have a system like this. I say the 0 represents if I receive in the month of sales or in 30 days. Can you see it's still in the month of sales? Okay. 1 says, I say I receive the following month or after 30 days. So who wants to guess what's 2? The second month, no, the second month following. Because we're already in the following month. No? So in other words, if I say, let's just do the year. If I say the sales happened in January, January would be month 0. Okay? Meaning, if I sold it in January, I receive in January. Okay. February would be month 1. 1 month following. You see? After 30 days. So let's say, I say February is the month of the transaction. Can you see that now, March would be 1 month following February. Is everybody with me? Okay. So now the second month, number 2 would be the second month following or after 2 months or after 60 days. So can you see here, if the month of the transaction is January, the month following is February, 2 months following is March. Okay? So obviously 3 would be 3 months following 90 days. So what I want to do with my schedule, if I want to say how much cash am I going to receive from debtors from January in March? Can you see in March I'm going to receive from debtors who bought in January, ne? And in March I'm going to receive from debtors who bought in February. I can even have debtors who bought in March, and all of that gives me the cash that I'm going to receive in March from credit sales. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Okay, I'm repeating again. So if I look at March, I will have people who pay me who bought in January. I can have people who pay me who bought in February. I can have people who pay me already who bought in March. And that is why I need to set up a schedule. Because it's not clear-cut like with cash sales. When the sale happened, the cash happens. With this, when the sale happened, the cash doesn't necessarily happen in the same time frame. Is everybody sure? So now let's go look at this guy. I gave you here a schedule. Don't take that away. So there's a schedule. So in the month, you write down all the months they give you. Ne? So if I look here, I see January, February, March, April, May. Okay? So I start here. May, April, March, February. And the good news is you don't have to think this out. Most of the times they print it in already. Yes.
So why not January?
You'll see now. It's just because of the spaces that they gave. It's a clue already. Okay. But I will tell you which months to open. Don't worry about that. Okay. So now they tell me February, the credit sales was 29,500. And can you see then March is 32,500. April is 28,500. May is 34,500. And can you see you don't total it? Okay. So now if I look at this thing here, here's my schedule. So I'm going to look for the words here. Can you see it's in the month? Meaning I'm going to start with 0. If they said the month following, I would start with 1. Does that make sense? Okay, so it's 0, 1, 2. And I'm just going to repeat for myself, writing it here, 0, 1, 2. 0, it's 20%, less 5, 60%, 18. And can you see it adds up to 98? Meaning 2% is going to be bad debt. Where will I show bad debt? In the cash budget or the income statement budget? In the income statement budget. Okay. Is everybody with me? Okay. Talk to me. What must I repeat? Oh, the -5 I'll explain to you later. So if you look at this, they say in the month of sales we get 20%. And 5% settlement discount is allowed for prompt settlements. Meaning, if you pay within the same month, get a 5% discount. So is that cash? So it means the person who pays me is not paying me 100%, he's only paying me 95%. Does that make sense? So now what's important to remember, this is why I write it, can you see I don't say it makes it 15%? Because that 20 is the percentage of people that's going to pay me. And only for that percentage, so let's say this is the whole class, and if I work out the percentage, these 4 people sitting here are the people paying in the same month. So only for these 4 people, I then give a 5% discount. Okay, so you first have to calculate the percentage people that pay, and then for them you give a discount. Okay, but you'll see how it works, and you're going to love this because it's calculation. So I hope all of you have got your calculators. So let's start. I'm going to do it like this. Can you see we start February? So let's start January. January, February, March, April, May, and that's up until where we are. Okay. Now, if the transaction happened in January. It means January is 0. Can you see my 3 months that I give the debtors is 0, 1, 2. So February is 1 month following. March is 2 months following. Am I budgeting for March? No. I'm budgeting for April and May. Because if I look at this, March doesn't need to be budgeted. It already happened. Okay. So now let's start. February. So February is month 0. March 1 month following. April 2 months following. Is everybody with me? So now in April, so I know April here is 2. Because January is not budgeted. Look, if you look here, you will see we are budgeting April and May. So if I look at January, I'm going to budget for January, February and March. So the budget ends before April starts. Is that your question? That's what I just answered. Because January, if you look at January, the people who bought in January is going to pay in January 20%, in February 60%, in March 18%. So in April, I'm going to bad debt them. I'm not budgeting to receive anything from them. In April, they had their 3 months. Does that make sense? Sure. Does people know that you bad debted them? No, they don't. They don't. It's just for your books. And what's the principle for that? The God principle. Oh, come on. It sounds like your friend's name. Prudence. Ne? We rather write it off. But are we going to stop pursuing that guy? No. It's just in the books that we write it off. But in real life, we're going to go after that guy. Okay? So, now, let's try again. So in February, we'll receive 20%. But am I budgeting for February? No. In March, I will receive 60%. But am I budgeting for March? No. In April, I will receive 18%. Am I budgeting for April? Yes. Can you see? There's the budget. April. So I'm going to say 29,500 times 18% gives me how much do I think I'm going to receive in April? 5? Okay. Can you see it's not the full credit sales? Now let's look at March. I think you guys are starting to get the point, ne? So March is now 0, ground 0. Why? Because in March the transaction happened. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow.